guys, so today I'm going to be talking to you about how to be a great leader in ministry. So have you ever met someone who started serving in ministry with an overwhelming passion that inspired everyone around them? When you thought of them, you thought to yourself, wow, this person is so full of joy, energy, and light. Have you met that person and come 2 months later, they were absolutely burnt out with lost passion? Have you met that person that thought, if not already, has given up on their calling in ministry because it got too hard? Maybe you have that person in mind, or maybe that person is or was you. As believers, we desire to be the full potential and design that God created us to be. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
And so I would love to share with you just some wisdom that I got from people and just being in ministry myself. So this is how to be a great leader in ministry. So imagine a piece of driftwood. So thinking about this driftwood, I don't think that it would be moved, just be on the ground. But once a wave touches that piece of driftwood, it is moved. Now relating that to us as leaders in the church, we cannot be like driftwood and drift once we encounter a wave in our life. Step 1 to being a great leader in ministry is to be a leader that is steadfast and will not drift. In order to be deeply rooted to withstand waves that try to push you over the edge and make you want to give up in ministry, you must be a ambitious leader. Now, what does ambitious even mean? It's a great balance between both humility and ambition. Humility means that you have modest or low view of your own importance. There's an article by Jarrett Stevens on humility, and he talks about how humility is so important to have in ministry because true humility reminds you that you are not that amazing outside of Jesus and that you have a constant need for grace. I don't know about you, but it becomes way harder to do not only ministry, but life with making every success about myself. Now, the other half of being ambitious is ambition, meaning determination of hard work. True ambition reminds you of your calling and to stand on vision, passion, and discipline. You must have a balance of both humbleness and ambition. Keep this noted that high-level leaders are always last. Your heart must be in the posture of servanthood. To truly examine your heart, I want you to ask yourself right now, how is your ambitious side the other 6 days when you're not serving in church? The second way to withstand getting caught in the ways of ministry is that you must always avoid comparison. You do not show God's love for the church when you're comparing. There's such great insight in this article by Tom Rainer named How to Avoid the Church Comparison Trap. The church is God's bride, and just like a marriage, love deteriorates when a husband or wife starts to compare his or her spouse to another person. So show God's love for the church by being content on where he has you right now. We must rejoice also instead of comparing. If you allow circumstantial happiness to overrule, you will not ever be fulfilled in where God has you, and you will start comparing. Do not get caught into that trap. Be joyful instead. Be joyful in the calling and journey that God has specifically you on. Rejoice because he has you exactly where he wants you to serve. A mentor once told me to serve like you are serving where you want to be. Telling myself that always changes my heart in the midst of a comparison trap and not feeling good enough. So always give 100% because God promises to lift you up with due time. It is not a prediction from me that God will lift you up with due time. It is a promise in James chapter 4, verse 10 in the Bible. That is what God says will happen. So in ministry, having a healthy state of mind by avoiding comparison and choosing to rejoice with ambition should directly affect your desire to be available. What I mean by available is that you always are prepared and ready to work. Put great effort in where God has called you to serve. Be consistent, however, don't strive for perfection. I think many of us want to always portray ourselves as having it all together when we are not called to be perfect. Your performance does not always have to be a 10 out of 10, so just take a deep breath. Don't make it about you. Be someone who strives to be an 8 because there is room to grow as a leader with that ambition and goal. You must also always put in not just great effort, but also your best work ethic. Now, how many of you guys have made a New Year's resolution once?
I have.
All of you guys? Yeah.
Sure.
So who would like to share with us what is the New Year's resolution that they had and one word that they would describe on how they felt when they started that resolution. I'll take 2 people. Michael, would you like to share?
Probably for me is eating healthier.
Eating healthier. Where is my expo marker? So eating healthier. And then what is one word to describe how you felt starting that New Year's resolution?
Determined.
Determined. That's great. I can get another person in the audience.
I would say probably losing weight.
Losing weight. And what's one word for you to describe how you started?
Motivated.
Motivated. Yeah, those are both great. So just remembering how determined you were before you experience actually putting the work in is probably way different. That affected your outcome. It was probably great thinking of what you could do without going through its reality yet. Would you guys agree?
Mm-hmm.
How many for you it involved going to the gym, staying fit, eating healthy? You're like, this is my year. This is the year that everything changes for me. Now, I definitely have had those resolutions before and that eagerness to complete my goals, but that gym resolution just ended because I wasn't willing to put in the work. Now watch this video of someone at the gym.